There's something in the heart of God that He always wants to meet with His people. And that's exactly what He did in what we know of as the Tabernacle. My name is Chris Montgomery, pastor at Fraser Church, and thank you for joining us on this 8-week journey as we learn how to enter His presence.
Welcome to Day 50 of the Tabernacle, a place for meeting. Philip Ryken and R. Kent Hughes wrote, "God was above the ark, enthroned between the cherubim. The law was under His feet, written in stone." Our text for today is from Exodus chapter 25, verses 17 through 22. "You shall make a mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half shall be its length, and 1 cubit and a half its breadth. And you shall make 2 cherubim of gold. Of hammered work shall you make them on the 2 ends of the mercy seat. Make 1 cherub on the one end, and 1 cherub on the other end. Of one piece with the mercy seat shall you make the cherubim on its 2 ends. The cherubim shall spread out their wings above, overshadowing the mercy seat with their wings. Their faces one to another toward the mercy seat shall the faces of the cherubim be. And you shall put the mercy seat on the top of the ark. And in the ark you shall put the testimony that I shall give you. There I will meet with you. And from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubim that are on the ark of the testimony, I will speak with you about all that I will give you in commandment for the people of Israel." As we enter our final week of focus on the tabernacle, we find ourselves inside the cube-shaped room known as the Holy of Holies. It is 15 feet wide, 15 feet long, and 15 feet high, a perfect cube. In that Holy of Holies, there are actually 2 pieces of furniture that appear as one. There is the Ark of the Covenant, which is shaped like a box. On top of the Ark sits the mercy seat. The ark is wooden, but overlaid with gold. The mercy seat was a slab of solid gold. The Hebrew word for mercy seat literally means to cover. It implies a lid and is translated as to cover or make atonement. The mercy seat is described in verse 17. Scripture reveals that it is being made out of pure gold. There's no wood in it. Verse 17 also tells us about the length and breadth of it. When you look at those dimensions, you discover they are the same as the ark, so that the mercy seat perfectly fits over the ark. Nowhere does the Bible discuss the thickness of this mercy seat. We know how long and wide it was, but we don't see how thick it was. Being made out of pure gold, we can surmise that this was the most expensive article of furniture in the entire tabernacle. It has been estimated that it would cost several $millions today. Some scholars estimate the tabernacle as a whole would cost over $19 million today. The mercy seat itself would have been the most valuable piece by far. Today's scripture reveals that 2 cherubim would have been placed on both ends of the mercy seat, with their faces toward one another and their wings spread out above the ark. Their wings would form a seat or throne, which provided God a special place to meet with His people. God's enthronement on the mercy seat is shown in the following scriptures. Psalm 99, verse 1. "The Lord reigns. Let the people tremble. He sits enthroned upon the cherubim. Let the earth quake." From Isaiah 37, verse 16. "O Lord of hosts, God of Israel, enthroned above the cherubim, you are the God, you alone, of all the kingdoms of the earth. You have made heaven and earth." And 2 Kings chapter 19, verse 15. "And Hezekiah prayed before the Lord and said, O Lord, the God of Israel, enthroned above the cherubim, you are the God, you alone, of all the kingdoms of the earth, you have made heaven and earth. You will also notice that Exodus 25:18 says that the mercy seat is to be a hammered work. That means it was to be beaten. It was hammered so that it was smoothed out in a slab, and then on the ends, out of one solid piece of gold, were these unusual, mysterious creatures known as the cherubim. The mercy seat symbolizes the finished work of Jesus Christ on the cross. Through the beatings Jesus experienced during his arrest and trials, along with his sacrificial death at Calvary, Jesus Christ completed the work that God the Father sent him to accomplish. Jesus is now seated at the right hand of God's throne. His sacrifice opened the way for believers to meet God at his throne. This is displayed clearly in Exodus 25, verses 21 and 22. So the mercy seat is the actual meeting place with God for the nation of Israel. Where can you find God and meet him personally? Where can you have a relationship with the King of Kings who sits on his throne? It's all at the mercy seat. As we look more closely at the mercy seat throughout this final week of devotions, may you find a place to personally meet with the living God. Some questions to consider. In what ways does King Jesus sitting on his throne represent the finished work on the cross? How is this seen in his cry from the cross, "It is finished," from John 19:30? Why do you think cherubim are found on both ends of his throne? And finally, what does the solid gold mercy seat suggest about the incredible value placed on the place where God dwells? Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.